What's going on, everyone? So there's been a lot of talk about LeBron James and how long is he going to play. Talked about how he's not going to play till the wheels fall off, that he's expected to play at least another year. But Bryce, that could keep him around a little longer so he could potentially go play with his other son. But regardless, we all know that the end is approaching for LeBron James, whether it's 2 years or 5, right? At some point, we're coming to the end of the road here. I don't really see him playing another 5 years. He's really going to play till he's like 45, 46. I mean, at the rate he's going, he probably can. I mean, he's already still a top 10 player. Dude's 40 years old in year 22. But I could see him kind of like writing it out, going to year 25, right? As crazy as that sounds, playing with his other son, kind of just like, okay, cool, I did something that who knows if anyone else will ever be able to do. I also don't see him being a guy that is willing to play and have like, the Wizard Jordan year where it's just like everyone kind of just like, let's forget about that year, right? Is LeBron going to be somebody that's like, okay, I clearly don't have it anymore, like, but I want to play with my son? I mean, he could always, the thing about LeBron is he could always just go into the Magic Johnson role, right? And just be a playmaker. And I mean, look, he's still, just his IQ and his abilities alone, especially with the way he's evolved into a shooter in a lot of ways, right? Like, I think he's a guy that, he could probably still go get you 15, even at age 50, right? Like, he could still do, he's a walking 20 point. He steps on the court, he gets you 20. I mean, how many times, even this season, does he have like 3 at halftime? And then it's like, LeBron finished with 27. He had 24 in the second half, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, right? So I don't know, would we ever see like a bad LeBron just because of his playmaking ability, just because of, obviously there's, if he's 70, but I'm talking about like, if he plays till he's 45, right? Will we ever see like get this guy off the basketball court, he's literally unplayable? Probably not. But point is that with LeBron kind of coming to the end of a career, no, he still wants to win. He still wants to be competitive, and he's on the Lakers. Lakers have been active in trade talks, but nothing has really gotten done. If you're the Lakers, is there more pressure to get a deal done to kind of try to maximize LeBron as best as possible? If LeBron was clearly like having a decline, like obviously LeBron's not 27-year-old LeBron James. He's not like Miami LeBron anymore, but he's still, again, arguably a top 10 player at worst, maybe top 12, 15, like, which is insane to think about. But nonetheless, like, he's still good enough. Him and LeBron James or LeBron James and Anthony Davis are still good enough to where if you have the right talent around them, I do believe you can win an NBA championship. And I don't think the Lakers are that far off. Right, JJ Redick is clearly a better coach. Right, they're running real sets, real actions, real options. Like, you see the adjustments, you see the changes. Right, we've seen JJ Redick have a clear plan, and then it's not working, and just abandon it and switch the plan on the fly. Like, those type of things are very valuable from a coach's standpoint. I said it before, say it again. I even defended Darvin Ham at times because, again, the players need to show up. Right, JJ Redick isn't responsible for guys not hitting shots or not rebounding, or not playing with effort, or turning the ball over, right? Like, JJ can't go out there on the basketball court and just start taking 10 threes, as much as we at times would love it, right? Like, I don't care how good a coach is, it's up to the players to execute the plan and play the game. Right, a coach can only micromanage so much. At some point, it's just like, do we have the players necessary to win a championship? Like, I do believe we have a puncher's chance. I do think we're a playoff team. I predicted this team would win 52 games, and I'm still sticking to it. So far, they're looking pretty decent. We'll see how things progress. Still very early in the season. There's clear issues, several redundancies. There's still the like, oh, well, what happens when Jared Vanderbilt and Christian Wood come back? But at this rate, who knows when they're going to come back, if they even come back, and if they do come back, does it even matter at that point, right? Like, so there's still a lot that this team needs, a lot of concerns, a lot of questions. Like, I don't think this team is a bona fide contender. I don't. Are they, with the right matchups, could they end up in the conference finals again, maybe even the NBA finals? Sure, right? right? Like, could they win a championship? Sure. You still have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I don't think anyone would be just like shocked, like, oh, wow, no way, if they made it to the finals or won a finals, depending on the matchup, depending on who they end up playing, right? Like, I don't think it's something that is that crazy of an idea, but it's not something that I would be willing to bet on, or I'd be confident being like, yeah, Lakers are a champion. I think Lakers are, top 8 team maybe. Like, if you wanted to say like they're 10th, okay, sure. Like, I wouldn't fight you too much on it, but I think that they're not that far off, right? Don't underestimate the value of 1 to really 2. I think they need at least 2 high-end moves. Dallas, great example last year, right? Dallas was a team, they're having their struggles this year too. They looked last year like they do right now. A team that's like, maybe they're really not that good, right? Like, they missed the playoffs, they come in, right? I mean, they missed the play-in, right? Like, and then they come in, and then they're having their struggles, and it's like, are they going to miss the play-in again? Are they really this bad? And then they got P.J. Washington, Daniel Gafford, right? Derrick Jones Jr. really started to come into his own, particularly on the defensive side of things. And you looked up, and it was like, oh, wow. Now they got the right match. They went on the right run on the back of their defense. They ended up being in the NBA Finals. Yeah, they kind of got ran through in the NBA Finals, but, they still were managed and able to get there. And 2 key quality moves were a big kind of bolster to that effort, right? We saw it with the Lakers, a couple seasons ago. Got a couple key trades, right? And next thing you know, we're in the conference finals. Don't underestimate the value of, a couple key acquisitions, because this is basketball. This is the NBA, right? Like, it is a sport where 1 to 2 guys can make all the difference, right? Like most sports, yeah, like you could go get 1 or 2 guys and it'll make you better, but it doesn't make you that much better, right? Unless, it's football and you're getting a top end quarterback or something like that, right? But basketball, you get the right role guys, right? Guys that kind of come in and buy in and do what you need them to do and kind of fill holes that you're lacking. All of a sudden you look up and you're there. So I don't think the Lakers are too far off. Personally, I think the Lakers need to stay the course, right? Because you can be worse. I mean, we're all old enough to remember the Russell Westbrook trade, right? Like, you can get worse. And the problem is the Lakers aren't just like a Walker Kessler away from winning a championship, or like even like a Brook Lopez or something like that away from winning a championship. I think they need at least 2 high-end quality, starting level guys, or they need like 3 like mid-tier, 1 quality bench guy and then 2 like supplementary star or role player guys, right? Like, if you got like, say, a Walker Kessler, Dorian Finney-Smith, and if Dennis Schroeder can continue to play the way he's playing, right? Like, now you got like 3 high-end guys. You upgraded the defense. You got the point of attack, right? You got guys that can hit some threes, especially the way Schroeder's playing this year, right? And then you got that big man that fills a need but also gives you some bench production. Hopefully Christian Wood comes back and he can kind of settle in, right? Now, something like that. Otherwise, I think you need like, a Zach LaVine and a Walker Kessler, or, get a Valanciunas and a Bruce Brown with a Cam Johnson, right? Something like that. Now I think Lakers, again, are enough to be a title contender. I just, obviously the other side is like a star, right? Like, there's been, Lakers right now are like second favorite to land Jimmy Butler, which personally stay away from Jimmy Butler. But point is, like, if you could get a Jimmy Butler, in the offseason, there was like Steph or Trae Young, right? Even though I'm not like super, like Trae, I wouldn't be mad if the Lakers ended up trading for him, but I'm kind of like, can he and LeBron coexist is my question. And like, what do you do about the poor defense, right? Anthony Davis, don't get me wrong, out of anybody can mask a lot of those issues. But at that point, you probably got to start like Cam Reddish and Jared Vanderbilt, right? Like, that's what you're hoping is like those 2 guys can kind of mask the lack of defense. And you have more than enough scoring with Trae, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. But in all seriousness, right? Like, the other alternative would be get a star. I do think Zach LaVine gives you the highest ceiling potential, right? I don't think he's like a superstar or anything like that, but he is a guy that, as a third option would be fantastic. Kind of fits the need, fits the holes, right? I've talked a lot about Zach LaVine. I'm sure most, if not all of you, are aware of my opinion on Zach LaVine. Just pick any random Zach LaVine video on the channel and you'll hear some insight. But I do think that the Lakers need to stay the course, right? I do think that the Lakers, you need to find the right moves. You need to find the right trades. Yes, I do think that there's urgency, but there's always been urgency. Right? Like even last year, we knew LeBron was only going to have a couple years left. 2 years ago, we knew LeBron only has a couple years left. Right? Like nothing, in my opinion, has really changed unless this is LeBron's last season, which I don't believe it is. I really don't. I think LeBron plays at least 1, maybe 2 more seasons. Right? Even this last offseason, when people were asking me, hey, Tyler, like, what do you think happens to LeBron? Do you think that this is LeBron's last season? I said, no. I think he'll play at least 2 more seasons. Well, this would be 1. I think he'll play at least next season. And then we can start having that like, hey, is this the last season? Also, I'm pretty sure he'll announce it at some point, say, to get like a farewell tour, right? Like, I just don't see him like the season's over and he's like, all right, I'm going to retire. Like, that was fun. Thanks, guys. Like, no, I think it'll be like, all right, this is going to be my last year. Like, I think it'll be something like that. If the Lakers were to pull off a trade and win a championship, I've seen people ask, like, do I think that like LeBron would retire? No. If LeBron wins another championship, he's going to go, right? Because now you're 1 away from 6, Ty and Jordan. Like, I don't, like, if, let's say the Lakers are able to pull off some moves to win a championship this year, right? Like, I definitely think LeBron's playing another 2 years, right? Because I think he'll try, like, hey, like, come on, let's go get me one more type thing. But no, time will tell. I think if you're the Lakers, you still got to stay the course, right? We need a trade. That hasn't changed. Like, that's not some revelation. It's not like, oh, LeBron might be in his last year, so we got to make a trade. No, it's always been, we need a trade. Get a trade done. Get it done ASAP, right? But I also don't want to see a trade just to make a trade. I don't want to see them force the issue, is my point. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think, like, yes, you got to get a trade done? Do you think, nah, like, stay the course, be patient. If a deal's there, make it happen. Do you think, like, don't even worry, like, let LeBron do what he's going to do, focus on what's best for the team? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you like this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.